Hey, how's it going? It's your boy Christopher the Ruple. And if you're hearing this, you're probably going, hey, what's going on here? What's going on here? Well, see, we went through a rebrand. The original podcast was called Speaking of Which, and I didn't want to get rid of a certain number of these episodes because I was like, they kind of relate to Drunken Book Club, and I wanted to keep them alive. So I wanted to keep these adventure episodes alive with the rebranding. So here it is. Here's the message letting you know what's kind of going on, why I didn't say, welcome to Drunken Book Club, or talking about what we drank, yada, yada, yada kind of thing. But here it is. And our new socials for this series are DBC_pod, not the old one. That's our Twitter account. And possibly Instagram coming soon. And we also have our Patreon at patreon.com/drunkenbookclub, where you can pay $1 and tell us what book to read and to have a jovial time with us. Alright, thanks for joining me, and you guys enjoy the episode. Bye-bye. Have you ever thought to yourself, hey, these guys should talk about this book on Drunken Book Club? Or even, hey, I want to hear them gush about this on Ruple's Rupees. Well, guess what? We'll listen to you if you pitch in $1 on our Patreon. That's right, for $1 we'll listen to you. And along with that $1, you know what else you get? You get access to all the bonus episodes that I put out every single week, including the backlogs, and early access to all our podcasts and videos, and everything else that I put up on there. So for $1, I think it's pretty much worth it, but you be the judge. Check it out. It's at patreon.com/speakingofwhich. Thank you and enjoy the show. Hello and welcome to Speaking of Which. I'm your pack of the leader, Christopher the Ruple, and I survived this trip with the tenacity of a bull elephant. Joined today with
Sam. I died during childbirth with my 12th child.
And
Buck and Brandon. I'm the Sigma male of the group.
Sigma, eh? Alright.
He's gonna get dragged away by something.
He got killed by coyotes. He went hunting and died.
Because you'll go on your own without the pack.
And
I'm Weiss. I got carried off by an eagle.
very native of you.
Is that your actual dream? Fantasy of how to die?
Fly away
Into the sunset.
now.
And I'm Noelia. I'm the cook, and I probably put something very questionable in today's stew.
No one's my mate. I guess I'm a single bachelor.
I was, but I died.
Yep.
Giving birth to all your children.
So today we're playing Let's Read. It's a book called The Oregon Trail, The Road to Oregon City. It is a choose-your-own trail book. There are others in this series. This is just one that I found at Bookman's. Bookman's. So, hey, local, if you're in Tucson, always go to Bookman's. Always a good time.
Honestly, always a good time.
I was supposed to say, before we even start, I want to pose a question. Have you guys ever beaten Oregon Trail before?
Never.
Nope.
Not
Once.
even the Gaia online version.
There's a Gaia version?
I
There
think
was a
I beat
Gaia.
it the easy mode once on Gaia.
Wow, I'm
once.
impressed.
Back when I was like first, second grade, we still had the Max, and then we still had the
Yep.
Oregon Trail. I beat it once, but everyone was dead except for like 2 people.
I have beaten it multiple times. As a child, I haven't played it again as an adult. Every time that we were in the computer lab, I would play it, and I remembered each time how I beat it. I would always choose, it's like the middle between Banker and the Poor Farmer. It's like the middle one of that. I can't remember what it is. You choose that one. You don't spend a lot of money on meat. You buy everything else pretty normal kind of thing. But you make sure you still have money, and you cock away.
I spent a bunch of money on ammo once and died very early on.
I just clicked until something works.
Yep.
I played it a lot, like,
I am
throughout the second
MLG.
grade, and I definitely beat it.
I am MLG Oregon Trailer. But yeah, we're gonna go on the Oregon Trail today, guys.
Who's ready to die of dysentery?
All right.
Dysentery.
I almost want to put the music from the game underneath this. If there's a long play of it, I may download it and actually put it underneath. Be ready for that, folks, because I love chiptune.
Yay.
The Oregon Trail. Go west, complete the journey. You are a young settler headed out west by wagon trail in the year 1850. You and your family are on the last leg of the dangerous frontier journey known as the Oregon Trail. You have crossed more than 1,300 miles of territory in what will later become the states of Kansas, Nebraska, Wyoming, and Idaho, aka Boring Central, am I right, guys? For 15 miles a day for more than 3 months, you have walked beside your oxen and covered wagon with your family. You can't ride in the wagon because it holds everything you need for the journey and for your family's new lives as farmers in Oregon. You've crossed mountains, deserts, and prairies, and you've passed through Devil's Gate and the perilous Snake River. You've also faced wild animals, dealt with raging forest fires, holy shit, that was in the game?
What happened?
I never had that.
And learned how to survive in deadly desert conditions by traveling at night. You now know how to handle livestock and trade what you have. Best of all, there's still adventure ahead of you, if you can survive the steep and treacherous trek through areas like the hot sandy Bruneau Dunes.
Bruno.
It's spelled Bruneau. I'm assuming it's
Bruno.
Bruno.
Like Sacha Baron Cohen's Bruno?
Yeah.
We don't talk
Bruno.
about that.
Or Bruno. Yeah.
The
So let's
Cascade
go,
Rapids. The surging Columbia River. The bubbling Soda Springs. Fort Boise. Ooh, that one sounds scary. Boise, Idaho. Flagstaff Hill, which signals the start of the Blue Mountains. The Barlow Toll Road. And after that, the steep descent of Laurel Hill near Mount Hood. You've met indigenous people like Weiss! It says that in the book. Like Weiss.
Like we.
Of various nations like Arapaho, Lakota, Shoshone. Is it Shoshone? I think it's Shoshone.
I'm not too sure about that one.
And this is the one I feel most unsat. It's Osage, I think?
Osage?
Osage?
Those
Come on, Weiss! Help us out here! You know every single foreign
I am
nation,
not,
right?
I am not from the...
Way to be racist on Chris's part. You know them all. Like, have you ever gotten that before, Weiss? Of like, can you pronounce... Okay, here
I
you
actually
go.
want to see what how they're spelled.
Yeah, it's on the page.
yeah.
It looks like Osage, but that would be the Japanese pronunciation.
Yeah, but say it's probably Osage and Shoshone.
Yeah,
The
Shoshone.
Dakotas
Or-
and then the
you
the Osage
did it right.
As far as I know.
Yeah.
Apologies if I fuck up.
Apologies, too.
Apologies. Only one path will lead you safely through this book to your destination, Oregon City. But there are 23 other possible endings, full of risk and surprises.
Let's go.
Along the way, no matter what path you choose, you will experience natural disasters, sickness, and other hazards of the trail. So, here's like an example. It says here, you're trapped underneath the ice. How will you survive? Or these are examples of the bad stuff. A deadly lynx is about to pounce. Bandits are lurking nearby. What will you do?
Give myself to them.
Well,
Okay,
yeah, we got.
Hold on!
Calm down, Meg.
Calm down.
Hey, I sacrificed myself for the good of the crew.
Yeah, calm down, Meg.
Is that what they're calling
Death
it
by
these days?
sacrifice.
You know, this is not a good cause, Sam. This is. Am I gonna have to put you in the corner?
Why are you in the corner?
I mean, like the bathroom corner, and Ed can sit in your chair. Sorry, non-existent person can sit in your chair. I know there's this embodied voice. Don't be freaked. It's a ghost. We love them though.
Ooh.
They're very cool. Though my mom is very confused by them.
Just put like air guitar in the background.
Before you begin, make sure to read the guide to the trail at the back of the book, starting on page 170. Boo!
We're going in this blind.
It's filled with
Ferocious.
important information you'll need to make wise choices.
Okay.
We're gonna die.
You're not alone, and you can make decisions with friends.
Good.
Hey!
Let's go.
People you meet along the way, or ma and pa. But also, trust your good judgment. Use the resources you have, and you'll find your way to the end of the trail at Oregon City, where you'll get your own plot of land to build a farmhouse and start a new life with your family. Every second counts. Think fast. What will you do? Ready? Blaze a trail to Oregon City, folks.
Why is every second count?
All right, so we are at
Right?
3. I know, right? It's
Like,
not like we
most
can't
of
fucking decide.
I mean,
boring.
technically every second counts because we're on a podcast.
Also, it's like, hey, that's
It
boring.
counts in the
We're
video
taking-
game, but most of this is like boring wagon rides.
We're literally reading a
For
book. What if you're a
hours.
slow reader like me?
Do they have the hunting?
You read
minigame?
too
Too
slow.
late, they died.
Right?
What?
If you took too long to read, you're dead.
All right, so we're August 31st, 1850, Three Island Crossing. You dip your hands into the warm water and splash it over your hot, sweaty face. It's so refreshing to wash the grime off your skin after being on the dusty trail that you can't help but smile. The water is lapping at you like a soft, wet tongue. Suddenly, until suddenly, you wake up, reach out, and feel something furry. Archie! Yuck! You groan, pushing your dog away from where he's been licking your face. Archie just looks at you with his big round eyes and wags his tail. It's alright, boy. You laugh, scratching him around the ears as the 5 a.m. bugle sounds. It's barely light outside your tent, but it's time to start the morning chores, eat breakfast, pack up your wagon, and get back on the trail.
Can we just like pretend that Archie is this terrible mix between a chihuahua and a coyote?
I thought you were going to be like, Archie's a homeless person we adopted. It's already been almost 4 months since you started your journey from Independence, Missouri, back in May. But every morning, it's a little harder to get up. Wake up, Samuel. You nudge your little brother fast asleep beside you. You need to milk Daisy. And there's a nice picture of Daisy on the page.
Oh, Daisy.
It's actually a very cute
A
cow.
little
That is
cow.
adorable.
It's a very cute cow. You do it, Samuel moans, rolling over on his feather mat.
That is fun.
His father
Rolling
mat.
around on his father.
Yeah. Hannah, your little sister, marches into your tent. She's always been the earliest riser among you. Samuel used to be more energized in the morning, but as you've made your way through the difficult Rocky Mountains, he's needed more rest. Plus, instead of traveling 15 miles a day, your wagon train has been covering only about 10 to 12 miles because of the rugged and treacherous terrain. Ma says to hurry up, Hannah says, her bonnet sliding halfway over her eyes as usual. She needs you to get fuel for the fire, and Sam to milk... Daisy, Samuel mutters, cutting her off. I know, I'm coming. Hannah rolls her eyes at him and goes back to help Ma prepare breakfast. You don't blame Samuel for being grumpy as he packs up his bed and carries it out of the tent. Your body longs for more rest, too, but you know you don't have that option. The wagon train will roll out in about an hour and a half, and you need to help Ma and Pa get everything ready. Your stomach growls as you anticipate breakfast, probably be flapjacks and bacon. Again.
Really? Like, that's the worst thing
You're
of,
going to
like,
complain about bacon and flapjacks.
bacon and flatback. Like, that's the
Are you
worst
going to
thing.
complain about bacon and flapjacks, guys?
I'll
Yes.
complain about flaking and backjack.
Flake of flapjacks?
That's fair. That's fair. I don't know what
Flake and
flakin' is.
flackus.
I don't know what flakin' is, and it sounds gross. Sounds like something they'd come to a clinic
It's bacon
for.
that flakes on you.
It's got
Could be a
flaxseed on it.
pastry, like a croissant.
It's got flaxseed
Did
in
they
it.
even eat breakfast back then?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, the flapjacks.
Yeah,
have
they
been around
ate
forever.
food back then.
Breakfast didn't exist until the 70s, guys.
No,
Yeah.
Breakfast is just made up by the
legitimately-
major government. by the
Breakfast is a
government.
construct.
No, I'm not even joking. Breakfast is like made up by the government.
No, it is not. It's been
It's
around. Can someone find out while I continue reading
Okay,
how
hold
how
up.
old breakfast is?
Really?
You're,
Since-
you're
since-
breaking your fast.
Since you've left Independence with a wagon led by a team of oxen piled high with everything you own, you've eaten more bacon than you ever dreamed was possible. That sounds like a fucking dream. Thank you very much. Ma has been pretty creative with the few other foods you've carried with you for more than 1,400 miles so far.
I mean, you have to be pretty creative to be able to store that much bacon and it still be good. So.
Yep.
True.
Flour, cornmeal, sugar, coffee, salt, and beans. But it's still gotten boring. Luckily, you've also eaten whatever you have been able to catch along the trail, including rabbits, squirrels, deer, and buffalo, along with fruits and berries. I can't wait to get to Ogun City and eat at the tavern again, Hannah says, as if she is reading your mind. Me too, Hannah, you say, if there even are any taverns. Yeah, Sam, do you have a... No?
So, apparently, like, the term the term breakfast didn't come until the mid-13th century, but ancient Egyptians...
This is 1850, so we're good.
I was going to say ancient Egyptians have eaten at
Duh,
the beginning of
is
their day.
13th century before or after 1850?
I was gonna ask that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you're gonna be your little troll self,
Oh
eh?
my goodness.
No, I'm just.
See, I never like conceptualized that breakfast might not have existed during a time.
See, I just
So-
figured it probably did in the sense of it may not have been formally called it, but
Yeah.
people wake up and they go, I'm hungry, I want
Yeah.
to eat food.
Well, no, like the whole idea of like the 3 meals a day at like.
Yeah, that shit's
that-
been bull.
Yeah.
Lunch is bullshit.
Yeah. A lot of people
Uh,
do just breakfast and dinner.
I
Yeah.
need a mid-meal.
I do too.
I need a tiny mid-meal. Like a tiny
fair.
snack. I
It
need an
depends,
afternoon.
yeah, it depends.
Yeah.
Also depends on what my breakfast is.
I work
Yeah,
12-hour
sure.
shifts, so I do nothing.
Yeah,
Oh
boy,
my
eat those
goodness.
chicken
When I get
tenders.
Oh my goodness, please.
Your family is traveling out west to claim the land available to anyone willing to make the trip. Other immigrants like you have already made it to Oregon City and started their lives, but you don't really know what to expect when you get there. You've covered 2/3 of your trek through prairie, desert, and now mountains. The sights along the way have been incredible, from steep cliffs to massive waterfalls to enormous rock formations and more. And you've overcome a number of challenges, including dangerous river crossings, ferocious animals, and serious illnesses.
I was gonna be like, we're immigrants. Send us home. Wait.
Good morning, Caleb says as you walk past him with the armful of brush for the campfire. Caleb has proved to be an excellent wagon captain over the journey. His son and daughter, Joseph and Eliza, have become the best friends you've ever had. Good morning, you reply. What's ahead on the trail today? We are going to have a meeting after we all fuel up on breakfast, Caleb replies. There's a big decision to make.
Oh.
There's a big decision to make. Yuck.
Was he framed?
I was framed. I did not kill her. I did not hit her. This is bullshit. I did not hit her. Yuck. Oh, hi, Donald.
No, he has never seen the room and does not understand the context of this.
You feel a familiar tinge of excitement, wondering what the decision will be as you hurry back to your campsite and help Ma start a big fire. As the bacon starts sizzling in the iron skillet, you grind coffee beans and make a strong brew that everyone, even Hannah, drinks. You've all grown accustomed to drinking coffee on the trail and are grateful it masks some of the bad-tasting water you are forced to use along the way. Pa fixes you a plate of flapjacks, and you sink your teeth into a thick, buttery pancake. You wish there was some syrup, but are grateful for your cow Daisy's steady supply of cream that Ma turns into butter by hanging a bucket on the side of the wagon as it bumps along the rocky terrain. Goddamn, there is not a fucking decision
Yeah,
for
he's like,
another
"Oh my
2
God."
pages.
We have a big decision for you. It's like, oh, finally,
Yeah,
we can
3
make, let's
pages
make a
away,
choice.
guys.
You have to
I
choose
apologize.
butter or cream.
Oh, your mom's milky. All
God
right.
damn it, Chris.
Oh god, it's coming true.
Why?
Yes.
It's
I told
actually
you all.
happening.
See, at least it's not a bad 2 pages. Like, this is a kid's book,
Yeah.
like, size
Yeah, yeah.
2 pages.
It's about to say very big font. Like that's a size 13.
That's
Oh,
Goosebumps
yeah.
font size.
Yeah, so that's Gooseman's font. Yeah, agreed. Pa, do you know what big decision we have to make today? You say. Yes, we need to choose whether or not to cross the Snake River 2 more times and to head toward Fort Boise. Pa starts. That river again? Hannah interrupts. You shiver, remembering the ordeal you just went through at Three Island Crossing. You had never been more terrified than when Ma fell into the water. But luckily, Pa was quick to save her. Holy shit, your mom almost died.
What?
What's the other choice? Samuel asked. We will take the southern alternate route, Pa explains. It goes south of the Snake River, but runs along it, so you don't have to cross. Isn't that better then? Ma asked. I don't know, Pa answers. It would take us through the Bruno sand dunes. They're hot, dry, and dusty. And then we'd also have to cross through that mountain range that the Donner Party went through.
Oh no.
And they went a good choice.
Did you say Dahmer?
The Donner.
Donner.
Oh, not Dahmer. Okay.
I mean, Donner is not a great choice either.
Wait, what?
They're both cannibals, so it's okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Your family sits quietly and ponders the options. I'm afraid to cross the river again, Ma says. Me too, adds Hannah. I'm worried about the dry conditions of the alternate route, Pa says. It might be hard on the animals. And I hate being thirsty, Samuel adds, agreeing with Pa. Everyone looks at you. It looks like you have to be the one to help us decide what we tell Caleb, Pa says.
Why?
What do you think we should do? You consider everything carefully. Even though the river crossings are dangerous, at least you know what to expect. You're not sure what the dunes will be like. On the other hand, the idea of 2 more crossings is daunting. What do you say? So, if you pick the regular route, we go to page 138. If you pick the alternate route, you go to page 108.
Why is
Okay.
it labeled as regular and alternate?
Because that's what it is. Because the regular route is...
Oh, I guess so. Yeah.
I would say the regular route.
Okay, we got
Yeah,
one
let's
right.
stay away from Bruno.
Through the Snake River?
We don't talk about Bruno. You know that.
That's why I said
So we
let's
got
stay
2
away.
regulars.
I say alternate, but I might get outvoted.
Why are
Alternate?
the
Because it's called Snake River.
why are the perfectly capable adults asking a child to make this decision?
I feel like you're at least 14, and
Which
that's an
means you're
adult.
going to get married soon.
Yeah.
You're an
Goosebumps,
adult.
the adults didn't do
Oh, yeah.
crap, but now they're wanting the kid to do crap? That's
When
scary.
that-
14 was like
then,
middle age back then.
10-year-old people used to, like, do crazy farm stuff and,
Okay,
like,
fair
be
enough.
responsible.
Fair enough.
I feel like you're part of the family, and everyone gets a vote. So
Yeah.
Alright.
And we're just
I'm
lame
sorry,
nowadays.
we don't live in a normal native household here.
I don't
where it's
either.
just adults who make decisions.
Oh, damn.
I don't either.
We're
I
just-
know how that feels, bruh.
I only had one adult.
I know.
Anyways,
I know how that feels too.
uh,
Deadbeat dads.
yeah, let's do the regular route then.
All right, we're going regular, so we're going to page 138. Hopefully, Mom doesn't die.
We're gonna die.
Because
I
Let's
just
see how
wanted to
it
Bye,
watch
flapjacks
cannibals.
made by
I'm
Mom.
just thinking the Donner part, or the
Yeah.
Donner party. went
That
through
was
there.
me making fun.
Agreed.
That was me making a joke.
Okay.
Oh.
That was a joke.
So there were
Crap.
no cannibals.
I mean, no, that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
in the
they're
book.
in the book now. There's no cannibals in the book yet.
But is that the same route they took?
Yeah.
or-
No, it's
What's
not.
Oregon? Of course we're going to come across
Eh,
cannibals.
still it's the same with the
I mean, they
regular
were
route.
going that way, but they took a way southern route through the Sierra Nevadas.
Okay, I would be down for alternate, but let's just do this for now.
All right.
Can
I
just
think it makes more sense to stick with the trail. You say after thinking it over. The dunes sound a little scary to me. What do you think? Pa asked Ma and Hannah. Can you handle more river crossings? We'll have to, Ma says while Hannah nods her head bravely. It's more feasible than the dunes, she sighs. It'll be good practice for the Columbia River ahead. It's settled then, Pa says. I'll tell Caleb what we have decided. The rest of the wagon trail agrees with you. Except for a couple of folks, and they don't take much convincing. At this point, no one in the group wants to split up unless there is absolutely no other choice. There's safety in numbers, and as things get harder along the trail, you have to work together as a team to survive. The first time you cross Snake River again, you help Caleb and Pa tie the wagons together in order to float them across the river. The current is strong, and you worry you'll lose oxen in the water, but everyone makes it without a hitch. After trekking aggressively for a day and a half, you reach the next Snake River crossing. Everyone decides to rest for a few hours before facing the river again. It's time to rally, says Pa as he grabs a tool to fasten the wagon's wheels. The cold water shocks the oxen, and they buck when they enter the water. Ooh.
We're going to die.
Caleb's face screws up with concern. They're going to break an axle, he shouts. An ox breaks out of the yoke and floats adrift down the river.
Oh
No one is able to swim fast enough to catch it. The axle is broken too. You finally get everyone across the river, and you're thankful you didn't lose more than one ox as Paul replaces the broken axle.
no!
Aww.
It's like that video of the cow floating down the irrigation system.
Aww.
Poor baby.
Poor guy.
You fall back into the routine of hiking for the next few days, heading north toward the Boise River, a tributary of the Snake River. Fun fact, folks. The dusty trail is filled with sage bushes and not much else. Thanks a lot, Luis. Along the way, you spot more tombstones and simple grave markers of unlucky pioneers who have traveled before you but not made it. One has the name of Rupel, another with Sam. It says put your names in.
I see.
I'm just kidding, it doesn't say that.
You should've-
Some are proper gravestones etched with people's names, while others are just piles of rocks.
Mine's a rock pile.
Yeah, sorry, Sam.
She liked rocks.
Here lies rocks.
The graves
I do
that
like
look
rocks.
like they have been there for a while have weeds growing around them. Others are fresher, more recently dug. You notice one covered with a thick layer of rocks to keep coyotes and other animals from digging up
Can we
whoever
dig it
lies
up?
there. It makes you
Ooh.
shudder.
Actually,
No!
we used to do that for our pets when they
What?
died.
You would dig them up?
No, put rocks
You
over it.
put rocks over it so that the pigs, the javelinas, wouldn't dig it up. And
Yep.
eat
I'm
it.
okay with being dug up and eaten by other animals. I mean, I'm already dead. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Oh, this guy's name is Joseph. Here lies Bill. He didn't make it up the hill. Oh, that rhyme. Joseph says after seeing your expression, pretending to read from the gravestone of a man named William Smith. Is that really what it says? This is Samuel. Is that really what it says? Samuel asks since he is still learning how to read. Yes, Joseph says, winking at you. You smile back. Your friend can always make jokes to lighten the mood, just like real Joseph.
That's real
Yeah.
Joseph right there.
Yeah, after you've been hiking for several miles along, and he is my best friend, so,
Yeah.
miles along the dust trail. The mountains to your right and the rock bank to your left starts to recede. A green valley suddenly comes into view. This is Boneville Point. I'm getting my voices mixed up, I can't remember them, because that's not Caleb's voice at all. Caleb says with a flourish of his hands, and that is the Boise River Valley. Everyone is thrilled to see green grass for the first time in so long. Look at the trees, Ma says, pointing toward them with a smile. This is nice.
This is nice.
Oh god, 3 more pages.
What?
Jesus!
So another
Very
decision.
nice.
Yeah, it must be nice to be able to read, eh, Reese? The next day, as you enter into the valley, Caleb halts the wagon early for your midday break and gives you some extra time to rest.
Can't believe we lost it all.
Can we go play for a little while? You ask Ma as she prepares a snack for the family with leftovers from breakfast.
It's my
Yes.
mom.
She agrees, but don't go too far and don't delay coming back.
If it's been bacon and flapjacks, is that just more bacon and flapjacks?
I mean,
Yes.
I've had breakfast soup, which is like scrambled eggs and whatever salty meat item you have. It's not bad.
That's
And
what, I mean, that
potatoes.
works. That works in a soup.
Yeah, delicious.
Sopa is good. You can put anything in the soup.
Yeah.
You put cum,
You
good
can
to
put
go.
soap.
Why,
soup in the
Chris?
Yeah, soup and soup. You have
Yeah.
a soup.
Is
Let's
that
race
where
over
it's gonna
there!
Primordial soup.
Eliza points toward a few trees in the distance, and suddenly your tired legs are re-energized. You dash off toward the trees with Joseph close behind you. I'm gonna beat you all to the top. Eliza challenges, starting to climb a tree. You're always impressed with Eliza's ability to run, jump, and climb. Before you know it, she is your mate. You love her very much.
What?
She is halfway up the tree, and you start to climb after her.
Wow.
As you reach into the branches, you get higher and hear a buzzing sound. Alarmed, you look around, but it's just some honeybees.
Oh no.
Then you notice a beehive hanging from a branch above you, and your heart starts to beat faster. Bees! You tell your friends in a hushed voice. Dr. Bees! Now, get down! Eliza says quickly, making her way down the tree. You don't want to get stung! Wait, let's smoke out the bees first and get the honey, Joseph says. That's a Joe thing. He would do that.
Smoke it out.
Yeah, he would smoke them out indeed. What do you mean? You ask, shrinking away from the hive.
I'll show you what I mean.
Well, get the bees to leave their nest and cut out some of the honeycombs to eat. Joseph explains, getting excited. But isn't that dangerous? You ask, eyeing the bees suspiciously. No, Joseph says. I know what I'm doing and I'll do it. And besides, can't you already taste the honey? You imagine delicious sweet honey dripping off the honeycomb. You haven't tasted anything new for weeks now. It is tempting to think of spreading the honey on your leftover cornbread from this morning. Honeycomb's big. Yeah. They ain't small. No. But you're a little nervous about getting stung by a bee, which has never happened to you before. Plus, Ma told you not to be gone for too long. What do you say to Joseph? Alright, if you agree to collect honey, you go to page 46. If you tell Joseph you want to go back, turn to page 83. So honey or no honey?
Honey, I'm gonna
Okay.
trust Joe.
I feel like there's a clear benefit here.
I feel like the problem is, like, what if you're allergic and, like, the one bee stings you and then you, like, have
Someone's
an
dead,
anaphylactic
yeah.
shot and you die.
See, this is our first like real choice where it's like, oh, you could actually die. So I feel
I'm
like they would
pretty
try
sure
to-
the other choice is pretty
They're
dangerous
pretty
too.
dangerous.
I
we lost an ox.
Anyways,
She's
I
just
feel
like,
like they
So I
would
got 2 for honey?
try to like.
I say no, honey.
Oh, no honey and honey. And
I think they want to fake us out, so I say honey.
I say honey because I want to see us die.
I'm just going to write down the page of no honey real quick, just in
Just
case.
in case.
So we're
Okay.
going to page 46. Noelia, have you killed us?
No, honey. Joe calls you a bitch.
They can't kill us the first
Bitch.
decision.
Second decision.
Well, yeah,
And yes, they can.
But
And
this
yes, they
is-
can. Remember, R.L. Stein kills us on the first decision all the time because he's a jerk.
Really?
Yeah.
In, what's it called? Secret Agent Grandma, he kills us on the first decision.
Yup.
Because you get covered in gross sewer water.
What?
Wow.
And that
Yeah.
kills her?
Yeah, I mean, it kills you. The taste of fresh honey is too mouth-watering to resist.
Oh, we're dying.
You relent and agree to let Joseph smoke out the bees. Joseph finds a large heavy stick and sets it on fire. Then douses the flames with his foot, creating a smoking log. He holds it up to you. Here, take this while I climb. He orders. You hesitate. The bees are already swarming around you. Still, you take the smoking stick. Joseph jumps to clamber up the tree, his movements shaking the nest even more than your first did. A bee whizzes by your ear. Joseph, I don't think this is a good idea, you say nervously.
Bitch.
I'm almost there, he grunts.
Wait, you're
Do you want honey or not?
He's drinking Napoleon Dynamite.
Joseph, says Eliza, I think we should get down. But Joseph ignores her and grabs the smoking ranch. He holds it up to the nest. The smoke clouds the nest, and the humming increases to a dull roar. Joseph, Eliza shouts, stop it! Calm down, Joseph says, but he also sounds scared. You scramble to climb down. Too frightened of the bees buzzing around your head, but as you reach for a branch, something stings the back of your neck. They're stinging me, you shout. Me too, Eliza and Joseph cry out. As the three of you tumble to the ground, your eyes feel puffy and you can't catch your breath. You look down at your fingers and see that you're swelling up. You have an allergic reaction to the bee seed.
There it is.
Your journey ends here.
What did I say?
Sam.
Called it.
Wow.
I agreed with you, but I also wanted to see this happen. So,
Fair enough.
You're an agent of chaos.
I'm not an agent of chaos. I just want to see people die.
Yeah, okay, Joker.
That's peaceful. There's
What-
peace at death.
I
get
told you
it.
I was the Sigma man.
I just,
I'm just like the Joker.
I'm just imagining freaking the Warriors. I just like doing that stuff, okay?
Alright, so we're gonna go to page 83 instead.
Alright.
We're not getting the honey, like Sam said. Don't act all snooty. You choose bad endings a lot.
I know, but for once I didn't, so
It
let me
feels
have
good.
this.
Yeah.
It feels good being right
And
for
she
once.
I'll
called-
reward you later.
And she called the allergic reaction.
I mean, it was pretty obvious. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. It was pretty obvious. But honey is tempting.
It is. It is delicious.
I mean, hey,
Was it worth killing yourself and all your friends?
I thought it was too obvious.
I think honey.com would agree with us.
Oh.
Hey, our sponsor for this week is honey.com.
no, it's not.
It's not.
We don't have sponsors
Honey.
yet. Do you want to
Don't use
sponsor
honey.
us?
They're bad unless you want to pay us, honey.
Exactly.
Then you're great.
Pay us in honey.
They did.
We'll send
save
it to
me,
Juan.
like-
He'll love it.
They did save me like $20 on one of my.
All right, no free
recent
advertising.
Hey,
Yeah,
no,
no,
free
no
actually.
free.
Hey, guess what else you can use? Bing rewards. I got a $1.92 rebate from shopping on Disney.
Just to balance out Lisa's store, I used honey once, and they made me pay $20 extra.
See?
Damn.
What a jerk.
And I'll retract that statement once they sponsor you.
Joseph, we need to get back, you say. It's probably time to get rolling again, and we haven't eaten yet. Joseph looks a little bit annoyed. Come on, Joseph, Eliza adds. The last thing we need is to get stung by bees. You know Paul would be upset if we got hurt. I guess you're right, Joseph agrees reluctantly. I've never actually smoked bees out of a hive before anyway.
Son of a.
Fucking knew it.
That makes you laugh. Joseph is always filled with facts about everything and knows a lot about all sorts of things, just like the real Joseph.
Whenever.
Honestly, that sounds like Joe.
And he also has a lot of good ideas, but sometimes he's a little overconfident too. Not like the real Joseph.
Yeah, Joseph doesn't seem.
He goes through.
He's got the average amount of confidence, and then he's a lot of low confidence.
Yeah, where.
Knowing him since the first grade, I know. I think I'm the best one to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've known Joe since the first grade. You
I
didn't
didn't
know
know
that?
that, no.
Yeah, we've known each other since elementary.
Oh.
Yep.
Did
We've
he
been
always
best.
sound like, hey, I'm Joe?
He did not sound like that. Though he did have that kind of monotone sound. It was not that deep.
Hey, I'm Joe.
It's more like,
He just came out
Hey,
of
I'm
the womb
Joe.
sounding like the now Joe we know.
alright, you're fine with giving up the honey and heading back to the wagons. Besides, you know what you have. That you have Fort Boise to look forward to in the next week. Ma usually lets you get some kind of small treat at the trading post. Over the next few days, everyone's patience is tested as the anticipation of getting to Fort Boise grows. You haven't passed a trading post for 3 weeks.
Hold
Paul pulls out the gun and shoots you in the head. The end.
Whoa!
Yeah, I
It's
don't.
always someone named Paul, man.
No, just Paul.
Oh,
Paul.
Paul.
How?
That's my brother's name.
Oh, I thought you said it was
And-
your dad's name.
It's also my dad's name.
Oh.
And also
He's
your-
the second and the third.
It's also my
That's
stepdad's
funny.
name.
Because isn't it also your grandpa's name? Then?
It is. He's the first, second, and third generation.
How you didn't get a Paul name?
Yeah, I didn't want to be called that. I wanted to be called Christopher Lee. Thank you very much.
Did you get the Lee?
Yeah.
Wait,
As a
Ooh.
we had the same middle name?
we do.
Oh
Yeah,
my
we've already
goodness, so
talked
does
about
my
this.
sister.
Yeah.
Also a Lee.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Why is that such a Okay.
I mean, mine was because it was grandfather, but I like to think it's actually because of the actor Christopher Lee.
I still say
Mine
we're
is
a
because
great.
the actor Brandon Lee.
Really?
Yes.
That's funny.
I still say we're a power couple. We're
Yeah.
a celebrity power
Okay,
couple.
we don't need to talk. I can't wait to get to the fort, Hannah says, walking with you as she swings her worn rag doll by the arm. I'm going to get a new dress for my dolly.
Yeah.
You look at Hannah's own dress and dirty apron and think about the last time you were able to wash your clothes and have a proper bath. She sinks a high hell, but you still kiss her on the lips.
God, that's your sister.
She is my sister. It's that kind of party. Yeah, we're step siblings. It's okay.
No.
You know how raggedy you must look too, just like everyone else in the wagon trail. As you walk, you kick up a pebble and notice your dilapidated shoes, which have been repaired several times already since Ma bought them for you back in Independence. From walking so many miles a day, they are growing paper thin again and need new soles. When you finally arrive at Fort Boise, everyone perks up at the welcoming scene. Several other wagon trains are parked in corrals, circles to protect their animals and keep out thieves and predators. Sexual predators. There's the bustle of people trading and making repairs to their wagons. People from Paiute, Nimi, Ipu, and Shoshone nations offer goods for sale,
I'm sure
while
that
kids run around
pronunciation
and
is
play. I do not take any pride in how I pronounce it. I have no confidence in how I pronounce that. If anybody from those actual tribes would
Offended.
like to tell me how to pronounce it, I welcome it with warm arms because thank you.
I would wonder if this would get to them, honestly.
That would be hilarious.
I follow a lot of native people and I do have a couple of native followers on Twitter.
Nice.
Mostly comedians.
Hey,
That's
still.
good.
Mostly
Yeah.
Canadian.
There's a Canadian, sorry.
Oh no!
No, sorry, I thought you said Canadian as well.
Yes.
I do have a
Yes.
couple of native Canadians also that I do follow.
That's cool.
Yeah. I follow a lot of natives. I need to follow more Asians.
You follow me, right?
I don't think I do.
Wait, no, you.
I think I do. Yeah, I do. I follow like 2 others, and I'm like, I need more than just these. Actually, I follow like 3 because I follow the there's like this. It's an Asian D&D podcast where they talk about like the shitty ways like tabletop RPGs have kind of like been really terrible with Asian representation, like the Oriental Adventures and stuff.
Yeah.
It's really
We
good.
should do one of those.
No, they're really. Oh God, no! I will show you. I have it on my computer. I will show you the Oriental Adventures from
the next-
3.5.
The next Let's Read.
This is not the next
Okay.
Let's Read.
That bad?
I mean, it's not. It's a D&D book, not a literal
Oh, okay,
choose your own
okay.
adventure.
No, I see.
So I'd just be literally reading like D&D stats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. After you make camp and have supper, Ma gives you permission to explore a little on your own. You know this is the last trading post before we get to Oregon City, she says. This is our last chance to buy anything we need for the rest of the journey. Go look carefully. You take Samuel and Hannah by the hands and walk around. A group of Nimi Ipu people have spread out their wares, which include woven blankets, beads, and skins. But as Hannah stops to admire a carved wooden horse, you notice some tall moccasin boots lined with fur. These are good for snow, a Nimi Ipu man says to you. I had to do the native voice.
That's fine. When I heard, I was like, he's doing the native voice, but I wasn't gonna stop you.
You politely admire how neatly the leather is stitched and move on. What, you don't think they can tie and make leather shoes, buddy? Like, I'm sorry. Like,
no,
you're impressed by this?
They're
Wow,
impressed.
the savages can make stuff. That's what it feels like to me. I'm sorry.
No, yeah.
No, that's
true.
right. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you're
Wow, it's so well made.
Wow,
Bitch.
I didn't know brown people could make stuff.
fine. Wow, you guys have jewelry. What? Yes, we
No.
do, mother.
But really,
Wow, the Gem and Mineral Show, you people.
Yeah.
Don't get me started with those.
I know, right? I know.
Like-
Oh my god. I was trying to find a single actual native, like, worker or seller
Yeah.
that wasn't just like, yeah, I'm native, white as all hell.
I got her a ring from one of the sales that I got it from a Native American,
Yeah.
and like I saw the same thing all around him, except he was the only Native American, so I was like straight to him.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
you just gotta
Because that's
do
what
it.
I was looking for when
Yeah.
I went with my mom. I was like, I'm not going to buy anything if it says native stuff unless I see an actual native, because I'm not supporting fake shit.
Yeah.
Like, they're using the name so they can make money,
Yeah.
not actual people who need this.
Chris
Little
got me a
did-
cute polar bear charm out of Cowbone.
Oh, that's
Yes.
Aw.
Yeah.
Little did
super
we
cute.
know after he left that store, he ordered more on Amazon.
Hey,
Hey, natives making money. I don't
exactly. That's
Yeah.
what I was going to say. Flex Bay.
But piggybacking off of what you said about, ooh, the savages can make stuff. That legit happened at my college. Like, the black girls would talk about the international students from China all like touching their hair, like, oh wow, it's so curly, and they're like, we'd usually get mad, but like we get it because you're from a one race nation.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
like it's interesting.
The different culture.
The culture shock,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and what you allow because people are ignorant for kind of legit reason. Yeah.
Ignorant for the Ignian. Ooh, that's my new romance novel. Ignorant for the Indian.
And it's just a white girl being very, like, basically negging a Native
Wow,
American guy.
moccasins! I wear those.
Wow, you're so
How much did they cost
I
you?
love Pocahontas.
Turquoise. My dad has a whole collection.
You guys' culture eats breakfast too?
Native.
It's like a callback.
I just don't do Indian trades.
Another merchant has some rock candy on sticks. The colorful crystals of sugar in jagged shapes form long lollipops. He also has honey candy and molasses for sale that makes your mouth water.
Honey candy.
I was about to say,
I feel like I'm kind of going, if we get a choice of these three, I'm going to say the moccasins just for practicality.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I was
That's
thinking
what
that.
he brings
when you
down.
get back, Ma is discussing what items to get with Pa. She explains that you have enough of the essential foods you need to get to Oregon City. Pa tells her he has completed all the wagon repairs for the rough, rocky, and snowy mountains ahead, and he's purchased any available spare parts. We have a little extra money to let the kids get something, she says. Can I get a wooden horse toy? Hannah asks with a pleading look, forgetting about her rag doll's new dress. Let's see how much it cost, Pa says with a smile. Each of you left behind all your toys in Kentucky, and you rarely ask for anything. Is there anything you need? Ma asks you. If not, I might get us a jar of molasses and extra sugar. Your mouth starts to water as you think of the molasses. It's been so long since you've had Ma's famous delicious molasses pudding. But you can feel the pebbles underfoot and wonder if you should mention how worn out your shoes are. Especially with the hardest part of the mountains ahead of you. Mm-hmm. What do you say? Do you choose molasses and sugar, or do you get your shoes? Or if you say your shoes need repair?
Watch us choose shoes, and then we die of low blood sugar.
Turns out you were diabetic. You just need a little bit of sugar.
I'm still going to say,
Yeah.
I'm going to say shoes.
Same, yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
It's a
You know
razor.
which one I want.
We're gonna
Molasses.
Oh, jeez.
I want the candy.
See,
You
we're
know
gonna
what? I'm gonna
frostbite.
write down the molasses.
Thank you. I
Just
want
in
the
case you
candy.
die.
I'm gonna laugh so hard if
I
we
mean,
die
sugar and
because
molasses,
that-
it's candy.
If you were just a little fatter, the fat would have protected you.
from the cold.
Yep. Oh my god, that'd be so funny.
See, I
We're gonna
think
page
that
112.
if we go to the mountains without proper shoes, we're gonna freeze our toes off or something.
Yeah.
Terrible like that.
I hate to say it, I feel like all these options are very obvious.
Yeah.
Do you want...
Except for the honey, apparently.
See, I need to stop.
Never
putting
agree
them
with
Putting
on
your
my-
Brandon.
hand into a beehive is pretty obviously not the right choice.
You guys are we're supposed to listen to Elaine. Actually, no, Elaine always chose the wrong ending too.
Yeah.
With
But she
the-
tried to be sound.
She was really-
Yeah.
That's the
yeah.
thing.
and you would choose the crazy one. We're not reading R.L. Stein. Remember that. If it's R.L. Stein, you listen to Brandon.
Because who knows?
Because Brandon is fucking chaotic like an R.L. Stein.
Worst case scenario, we have fun with an R.L. Stein and we die.
True.
What would R.L. Stein's alignment be on a D&D chart?
Chaotic neutral.
I was thinking that, honestly.
Yeah, I think chaotic neutral.
But I think he'd be true neutral. Because he can be good, he can be evil, he can be chaotic, he can be lawful.
Because most Goosebumps books follow rules. Like,
No, they don't.
Well, they have a structure.
I mean, every book does.
True.
Unless
But
you're
I'm
a fucking weirdo
But it's still a
named
rule.
Christopher Ruppel. I think I need to get my shoes repaired again, you say, showing Ma how worn out the bottoms have begotten. She gasps and covers her mouth in surprise. I'm so glad you said something, she says. How did your shoes wear out so quickly? The cobbler back at Fort Hall must not have done a good job. I'm going to be a Karen and go back and talk to him. I'll be back in
She
3 months.
Starts walking.
3 months.
Walks through the river just...
Yes, says Pa, shaking his head. And we paid him good money, too. Your feet would have frozen while we traveled through those mountains. Ma goes to look for some buckskin to repair your shoes. But soon she returns instead with the very same moccasin boots you had seen earlier, along with the wooden horse for Hannah and a miniature bow and arrow for Samuel. Try these on, Ma says, handing you the boots. Slipping your foot inside, you're surprised by how light but sturdy they are. Are they comfortable? Ma asks you, and you nod. Thank you, you say, thrilled to be out of your uncomfortable shoes. And also the idea of getting shoes from your parents as like an adult now feels really
Yeah.
I know, I'm like...
Honestly.
Like, I could go for a new pair of boots so
Like,
bad right now.
My
Every-
tennis shoes are shot. Like,
yeah.
they're starting to peel apart.
Every Christmas, my mom gets me the same Vans because she knows I don't buy shoes for
Yeah.
myself because I'm busy trying to do other things with my money. But it's such a good feeling every time I
Right.
see my new shoes.
My
I'm
my
like,
brother always gets new Vans for my mom. My mom doesn't know what I like, so it's like
Shoes.
I am very particular with my shoes. I like Adidas Sambas because I'm a weirdo, and I'm not particular with my boots. I just need good work boots. That's all.
Yeah.
I prefer non-steel toe because I don't really need the extra protection.
And the P.O. box number is...
I don't know, Chris. You never know when your next crazy movie camera accident is gonna fall onto your toes or whatever.
That is true. I did drop the vacuum on my foot.
Oh my gosh!
You did. That is true. I did drop. But I was wearing my regular shoes that day.
Ooh.
I wasn't wearing boots that day. If I was wearing my boots, I probably wouldn't have gotten as bad of a bruise.
Oh.
Because I was wearing my Sambas.
Ah.
I'm gonna say, I'll wear Doc Martens, and then I'm very particular about shoes because I have a wife.
You have one pair of Doc Martens that I bought you.
I like my Doc Martens, though. And I've looked at getting other ones, and you're like, you don't need another pair.
Yeah, you don't need more than one pair of Doc Martens.
I don't need, but they have some
They
cool
last a
designs.
long ass time.
They do, but some of them have roses on the side.
Ooh.
I like,
That's nice.
Yeah,
That
you
was
need
nice.
to wear through. You need to wear through your ones that you have. That I've never seen you worn in a while.
I wore them today. So
You say it like
You
you
feel
need
a
to
mix
finish
of
your
emotions
movies.
on leaving the fort. The next time you leave, you will see civilization. It will be in Oregon City. And as Caleb reminds you, you still have to walk more than 450 miles until you get there. After a week and a half of hiking, your wagon train reaches what is known as Farewell Bend, where you will forever part ways with the Snake River. Even though it brought us challenges, I, for one, will be sorry to say goodbye to this river, Ma says. You wonder if she is thinking of the fresh fish or the water for the animals. It
It's
was
the Stockholm
hard
Syndrome.
enough crossing the river once. Never mind multiple times. Are you feeling all right? You ask, noticing that Ma looks a bit pale. I'm fine, dear, she says with a little smile. My head is feeling a bit heavy is all.
oh no.
You notice that Ma continues to look weaker over the next day.
Oh no.
And she has to stop frequently because her stomach is unwell.
Oh no.
The natives gave her a disease. The
What?
filthy fucking
God damn it,
savages.
Payback!
They gave her a blanket and are like, see how you like
Oh, damn.
Dude. At night, when you make camp, she asks you to take charge of making summer.
Oh no.
I just need to lie down for a bit and I'll be better, she says.
Oh my goodness.
Pa builds a campfire and you pull out the skillet and prepare beans flavored with bacon.
She's gonna die.
That is good. You try to make Ma's cornbread too, but it turns out like mush. You notice Pa picking at his plate. I'm sorry the food isn't as good as Ma's, you say, a lump forming in your throat. No, it's delicious, Pa says, giving you a weak smile. I'm just not feeling too hungry. You hope Ma is better tomorrow, because nothing seems right with her sleeping at supper time instead of being with the rest of you. But the next morning, she isn't better, and even worse, Pa is sick too.
We're all
Both
dead.
your parents just lying in their tent instead of taking part in the usual morning routine.
Oh no, she spread it to him.
It's almost like if we got the sugar and molasses, they would be eating.
I'm sorry,
The cornbread would be
kids.
better.
Yeah.
Pa says weakly with his feather mat. We were both sick all night. We need to rest. When it's time to roll the wagons, Caleb finds that your family isn't ready to leave yet. What's the matter? He asks with a frown. You tell him about Ma and Pa, and he comes back with a man in your wagon train who is a vet. He has been serving as a doctor on your journey. The man goes into their tent and comes out looking grim.
Just cocks the
I'm
shot.
afraid this is dysentery.
Yes!
He says your parents need rest and plenty of fluids, and hopefully they will pull through. The lump is back in your throat, and you swallow hard.
Just make sure it's good fluids this time.
What about the trail? You finally manage to ask, noticing how tiny your voice sounds. Caleb gives you a sad look. I'm afraid I can't keep the rest of the wagon train waiting too long. I think I can convince everyone to camp for an extra day, though. You just nod, grateful. Caleb gives you a pat on the back and hurries back to tell the rest. You spend the day trying to get your parents to eat or drink, but they can't manage to keep much down. That evening, you start feeling ill as well.
Oh no.
I'm just kidding. That evening, you sneak into your parents' tent again. The wagon train is getting ready to roll out tomorrow, you say. Are you going to be okay to go? Do you think you can drive the oxen team, Pa asks you.
I'm about to say, I'm gonna drive that.
We don't have the strength to walk, but Ma and I can ride in the wagon. But if we don't feel comfortable, Ma adds, we can just wait until we get better to travel. We'll be able to move faster and can catch up with the rest of the train later. You think about what both your parents say. As much as you like the idea of taking charge and leading the wagon yourself, it also makes you nervous. Already, it's been tough to be in charge and take care of everything on your own. Maybe a little more rest here by the river will be better for everyone. But you also hate the idea of being left behind. What do you decide? That's finally a good hard decision.
Yeah, that's not just like one of those, do
If
you
you
take
just-
the sugar or
Yeah.
do you?
If you decide to steer the oxen and head out, turn to page 122. If you decide to stay camped a little longer, turn to page 23, which is also my lucky number.
Part of me says stay camped, but it's also like I don't want to split the group because the plus side of the group is it keeps us less vulnerable for things like not. I would almost say steer the wagon.
Say it, Savages, say it.
No, I'm thinking like wild animals that will just like be like, ooh, look, a cow.
Yeah, you can
No.
also
Yeah.
trip a fellow.
You're not allowed to use that
Person.
R word.
Whatever.
I know.
No, I just, for some reason, I what was it? No, I remember, Blazing Saddles when it's just the one
Yeah.
circle, trying to
Circle
circle
the
just-
wagon.
Yeah. It was
Circle the wagon's just-
one of-
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like you can't
So,
really.
what is
Yeah.
your decision, Sam?
I would say let's try and drive it. What do you say?
Drive? What about you guys?
I think we should leave.
I'm gonna go with
All right,
Ripple's
so
lucky
drive.
number.
So, stay camped?
Yeah.
This one's really hard
This
because,
is
like,
really
we
hard.
sucked at Mom's job. What if we can't do Dad's job well either?
But we also have the group with us when we.
Oh, that's true.
That's
Whereas
true.
if we're
I was gonna say.
alone and something happens,
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Let's try to stay with the group.
that is my thought, at least.
I'm going to tell you up front, either one will lead you to two different choices.
Hmm.
So it's not the end either way. So we're all going to stick with the group then?
Yeah.
So we're going to... You decide to steer the oxen and head out. We're
Next
turning to
choice
page
is, do we
122.
kill mother and father?
Yeah, that's the real question: is who lives, who dies,
Yeah.
Get the shotgun.
who gets mauled by a cat.
I can steer the wagon so we don't fall behind. You say, trying to sound sure of yourself than you
Oh,
feel.
no.
I think that's a good decision, Pa says with a proud look on his face.
Yeah.
I agree, Ma says. It actually might not have been safe to stay here alone. The next morning, you, Samuel, and Hannah break up your camp and pack up the wagon the best you can. With some help from the others. You lay Ma and Pa's feather mats in the back after rearranging things to make it less bumpy. Caleb helps Ma climb into the wagon and then turns to you. We're going to be approaching the Blue Mountains soon. It's good your family isn't staying behind, he says in a hushed voice. I'd hate to think of what would happen to you if your parents took a turn for the worse. You just nod. That was something you've been trying to not think about. Although this trip has been filled with challenges, you've never been as scared as you are now.
Thanks, Caleb.
You've heard stories of orphans along the trail who have to either continue on their own or depend on the generosity of others. AKA get fucked. It makes your stomach turn, just like getting fucked, and you try to push the thoughts out of your head. I'll send Joseph and Eliza to help you out throughout the day, Caleb continues, and if you need anything, just shout. You nod again and take a deep breath before starting the oxen moving. I have to push on, you tell yourself. I have to get my family to Oregon City. You've passed Farewell Bend now, and Snake River is behind you. As your wagon train has to cut its way through the shoulder-tall sagebrush, the journey is slow and exhausting. Up ahead are the famous Blue Mountains, filled with woods and steep climbs.
Okay.
You desperately hope Mom and Pa are better soon. Hannah and Samuel are as helpful as they can be, tending to Mom and Pa and listening to you without arguing. You see both of them wipe back tears when no one is looking, and you know how hard they are trying to be brave, because you feel exactly the same way. Over the next couple of days, you are relieved when Ma and Pa do start to improve, but unfortunately, they end up worse, and they do pass away.
Lies.
Yes.
By the fourth day, Pa's walking next to you again,
Fucking
and Ma is sitting up in the wagon and smiling. You feel lighter, like a huge load has been lifted off your shoulders.
fucking.
And you lost 5 pounds.
They definitely lost that. Look at those trees, Samuel says, grinning wildly as he runs up to you. They must be more than 200 feet tall. You've passed Flagstaff Hill and are now in the Blue Mountains. You stretch your neck upward to look at the massive fir trees around you.
Nope.
Like everyone, you've never seen anything like them before. I think you're right, Sam, you say, grabbing your brother and tickling him. Let's see if you can climb up to the top of one. You first, Sam says, wiggling out of your reach and running away. I'm gonna tickle you into submission, bitch. Archie, oh my god, this is the first time we've heard about the dog again. Archie seems amazed by the landscape too and runs ahead of you, sniffing at the ground and chasing birds, peeing on a tree here and there. Even though it's only September, high up in the mountains, in the shade of the trees, the air has a chill to it. You look forward to making camp and sitting by the fire. Ma fixes a nice supper, and you're glad to taste her cooking again. Even though no one complained when you were making supper, you know everyone else is happy too. When you're all done eating and talking about the day, someone pulls out a fiddle and starts singing. This kind of night is your favorite, as Samuel and Hannah start to dance and everyone claps. Finally, Ma puts out the fire and you head to bed. But as you lie on your feather mat, you can't fall asleep. You have the mean shits. Montezuma's revenge is what it's known as. And you're fucked. You're thinking about all that has happened over the past week. Plus, you just can't get warm. Archie is curled up in a ball next to you. Samuel... Oh, sorry. He's balled next to Samuel, not you. And you wish he were lying next to you instead. But then your brother would be cold. You pass Hannah holding her doll tight and shivering underneath her blanket. As you head out of the tent to look for an extra blanket in the wagon, passing by the campsite, you notice an ember glowing faintly in the fire pit. What? That I mixed up the sentence?
No, it's just thinking of like mom and you pass by mom and dad's tent and they're just.
You know, you can say that instead of clapping. You start to pick up a handful of dirt to smother it out, then pause. You wonder if you should add a few sticks to get a flame going and sit by it a little longer to warm yourself up.
No.
Or should you just put it out and try to find another blanket and go back to bed? So, do you smother the fire, or do you build a small one for yourself?
Only
Put
you
it
can
out.
prevent forest fires.
Put it out because
yeah, we need to put it out.
I don't want to set the family on fire.
Put it out.
Yeah.
Keep it in.
No.
Alright, page 39.
Light the family on fire, please. Wait, keep note of the fire one.
Oh my gosh.
Wait.
Brandon wants to know.
Oh, wait, I chose the wrong one. 76.
We almost set the
Oh, this
family on
is
fire.
death.
Actually, this fire one is death.
Yeah.
Is it
76.
long?
Brandon wants to know the death.
That's like the most exciting
I was gonna
one
say,
so far.
this one has a
Lynx.
lynx.
Huh?
This chapter has a lynx.
Ooh.
Lynx like
A lynx.
Euro?
The
Oh,
rar.
Lynx.
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 Meow meow.
You drop the dirt onto the glowing orange ember. You watch it as it turns to black. When you stomp on the ashes just to make sure the fire is completely out, you've heard of enough fires accidentally burning down camps that you don't want to take any chances. Instead, you go to the wagon and grab one of the quilts that Ma has sewn on the journey. Unfortunately, you get dysentery and die.
You just start shitting yourself.
Because she was using that blanket as a diaper.
God, that'd be
Is
so
that
gross.
dysentery?
If you eat
From shit.
spoiled water.
Okay.
Yeah, bad water.
Bad water, and I think ingesting, shitty water.
Watch we get it from Archie the dog. Uh,
Him licking your ass and then licking you. She's made several and has used them to barter for goods along the way. Back in your tent, wrapped snugly in the thick quilt, you're finally able to fall into a deep sleep. Before you know it, the morning bugle sounds. It's already morning, you mumble as you crawl out of bed, feeling envious that Samuel seems far more rested than you. You feel like you're dragging as everyone sets out to do the morning chores. Samuel milks Daisy as usual, while Hannah pulls out the dishes for breakfast and grinds coffee. Really grinding that coffee, guys. You walk over to the woods to collect firewood. Glad it's so easy to find fuel in this heavily forested area. Archie follows you, wagging his tail happily. Now you're with me instead of last night, when I could have used your help, you say, throwing a small twig, which Archie eagerly runs to fetch and brings back to you.
No.
Playing with Archie wakes you up, and you end up moving a bit farther from camp than you expected. But it feels good to race with Archie in the crisp early morning air, and you're starting to feel a bit more energized. I guess I should start gathering some branches. I guess I should start gathering some branches, you finally say aloud. I don't want to keep breakfast waiting. Are you eating cookies?
Brownie.
Brownie.
ooh.
Wait, there was brownie left?
No, it was
Wait.
leftover from mine.
Wait a minute, this ain't fudge.
It was in the.
Wait a minute, this ain't fudge, this is crisp poop. Just then
No,
your dog...
space for a second.
This is.
Damn, Chris, you make good shit. That's what I say every time I make a good meal. Just then, your dog freezes and you hear a low growl emerge from him. What is it, boy? You ask as you glance around with concern, but you don't see anything alarming nearby. Archie continues to stare at something and growl. You try to see what is bothering him and squint toward the trees. Yikes! Blending in with the branches of a tree is something that makes your heart skip a beat. It's a lynx.
Oh no! A bear!
A giant gray lion-like cat is staring straight at you, watching your every move.
Oh, that big.
Its gray eyes are piercing, and its long hair almost forms a beard.
Can still fuck you up though.
Yeah,
I was about to say, they
they
got
can,
big
yeah.
ass paws.
Like they're not huge, but they can.
They're like
murder.
they're pretty big. Like they're not big.
Big, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna
bigger
say they're
than
not
house
mountain
cats.
lion big,
Yeah.
but
But
they're
in comparison to like mountain lions, nah.
Yeah.
It's like 2 house cats.
take
It's
two
Yeah.
like 3.
yeah.
3?
They're
I'd
big.
say I would say 2.5. At least the ones.
Well,
I've
the ones in
seen.
Arizona are small. This is a winter lynx.
Oh, okay, yeah.
This is a Canadian lynx.
Yeah,
This ain't no like desert lynx.
that's true.
Frozen, you stare back at the big cat. You've heard about these beautiful but dangerous creatures, but you have never seen one before in real life. Hush, Archie, you whisper softly as your heart races. The cat's ears are twitching and you wonder if it's feeling threatened by Archie. All its muscles seem tensed, like it might be ready to leap at any second. Is it going to attack you? You know that lynxes move very quickly and are powerful, and you don't want to get in the way of this one's sharp claws. You try to stay calm and think about what you should do. Even as you feel your heartbeat pounding in your throat, your gut reaction is to run back to camp as quickly as you can, but you don't know if it will chase you. Another option is to try to scare the lynx away by yelling, throwing rocks at it, and waving your arms around. But what if that just makes it angry and encourages it to attack? What do? So, do you run back to camp, or do you try to scare the lynx?
I'm pretty sure you're supposed to like make yourself bigger and like.
If you run back to camp, it's page 68, so we'll technically be on page 69.
But I'm also like I think that might make it jump it. I don't know.
I don't know what the.
You don't. With
One
mountain.
that we
As far as I know, mountain lions, you don't turn your back because they will
You
attack.
make yourself bigger. With
Yeah,
mountain
that's
lions.
Yeah.
It's my thought is if you like make yourself bigger and louder.
So I
they
would
tend
think I would think the same thing goes for lynxes, especially because they're smaller.
Mm,
you don't want like
I
they
think
wouldn't
it would respect that.
they
So
wouldn't
you try
fuck
to
with a
run
bear.
The lynx would respect you.
It
I
just-
respect you for trying to scare me.
It
I'm
like
out.
it like does a nod and then
It's
like
just-
just walks
No,
away.
it just does like the freaking Fantastic Fox. Just
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah.
Just does a fist.
yeah.
Aw.
All right, so we're gonna choose to try to scare it away.
Yes.
Yeah.
As much as I want to do 6.
I hear 2 yeses.
I kind of want to do the other one just because I want to get it eaten by the.
Too bad.
That's your answer every time.
I know.
I
that's
just
what I
wanna
want to
die.
see.
I feel like,
Shoo!
oh, go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead.
Oh, I feel like you're doing this just so that you're not disappointed when we die.
No, it's because it's the most exciting.
How about we get a
ones.
good ending instead of
once.
death?
We never get a good. Well, we did one time.
We
Yeah.
usually get bad ones.
Shoo! You shout, waving your arms around. The big cat continues to stare at you, muscles tensed without blinking. You steel your nerves and fight the urge to run. Instead, you pick up the biggest stone you can find, flinging it in the direction of the lynx. You continue to yell at it. Go on now! You shout, go! Archie starts to bark at the lynx too. Together, the two of you make such a ruckus that the lynx finally turns its head and slinks away. You breathe an enormous sigh of relief and realize you are drenched in sweat. Come on, Archie, you say, grabbing a few branches for the fire. You race back to camp and arrive breathless. I saw a lynx! You shout to Joseph, the first person you see. How close was it? He asks with his eyes wide. As close as you are to me, you say, realizing how close that really was, since Joseph is within his arm's reach. Lynxes are usually awake at night, Joseph tells you. It might not have been roaming around in the early morning because it was hungry. You feel the hair on your arm stand up. Good thing you scared it away. After you hand Ma the firewood, she quickly fixes breakfast. Soon you're sinking your teeth into a stack of flapjacks and almost forget about the fact that maybe you could have been the morning meal of a big cat. The wagon train starts rolling again a short while later. As you make your way higher into the Blue Mountains, the trail has been getting harder to travel. Along the way, giant trees and branches lie in your path, making it difficult for the wagons to pass through. An hour after you start your day's hike today, another fallen tree blocks the way. Halt! The wagons! Caleb shouts. We have to clear the path! For the next 2 hours, the men of the wagon train work hard to chop up the tree and haul away the pieces. All the kids help by pulling large branches. Everyone is exhausted by the time the work is done. But there's no time to rest. Caleb orders the wagons to start rolling again. Until yet another tree needs to be cleared. Jesus.
Jeez.
For the next several days, it's the same. The wagon train isn't covering much ground because you have to stop so frequently. Everyone is overtired and tempers run short. It doesn't help that when the path is clear, the steep climbing is also slow and difficult. You, like everyone else, have blisters on the palms of your hands from dragging branches out of the way. When Caleb finally halts the wagons for a midday rest, a man from the group starts to talk. We can keep moving at a snail's pace and risk getting caught in more snow as we go up the mountains, or we can make a new plan, he says. Like what? Pa asks. We could leave the wagons behind, he suggests. We have only about 260 miles to go before we're in Oregon City. A few people snort and start to laugh. Leave the wagons behind? Ridiculous! Let's hear him out, Caleb says. If we just take what we need for the rest of the journey and tie it to the animals, we can move much more quickly, the man adds. Plus, we have to think about how long our food supply will last if our trip lasts longer than expected. Now some people murmur in agreement. Just think about it, everyone, Caleb says. But for now, we have to keep moving. You listen to Ma talk. Ma talk.
Mata.
You listen to
Maltese.
the Ma talk.
Mata.
You listen to Ma and Pa talk about what the man said. How could we possibly give up the wagons now? Ma says. We'd lose so much. Yes, but we do have to think about getting stuck in the mountains in the cold weeks ahead if we keep moving so slowly, Pa says. But what if it gets better soon? You ask. That's impossible, Pa says, looking at each member of your family. What do you think we do? If you say you should abandon the wagons, go to page 28. If you say you keep the wagon, go to page 100.
Part of me that entire time was like, we should get Bikini Bottom and push it somewhere else. That's the vibe.
We just say Oregon City is right here and we're done.
You agree with that, Lizzie?
She's just looking at us like, what the fuck?
Does
Actually,
Lizzie
she's looking
meow?
for
Is
it.
that...
Oh, yeah.
What?
Does Lizzie meow?
Yeah, Lizzie meows because
Okay.
hissing cockroaches meow.
Okay.
They definitely meow.
I would say let's not ditch the wagons because one,
Keep wagons?
we don't want to short ourselves on supplies, and
you
also
can
it's
make your wagon into furniture.
and it's also a form of protection. Because again, we're circling the wagons, but if you don't have wagons and something happens,
You circle up,
It
boys!
doesn't seem well. By now, I feel like nothing. Like, what would attack us in Oregon
Lynx?
Trail?
Natives?
Another
Savages? Oh.
No,
Salmon?
well, like so
Just
far,
one salmon.
so far, some of the tribes so far, like, yeah, we're cool. Take our stuff.
again, I'm thinking
you
more
know what I mean?
animals.
Like, buy our stuff.
I'm thinking animals more than anything. That
So we got 1 for, 1 against keeping it. Alright,
I
you
vote to leave the fire on overnight.
That's not an option.
I mean, it's,
I'm just gonna agree with Sam at this point. I don't know.
I want to leave. I want to leave
leave
the
it
wagon.
behind.
Sorry. Yeah.
Shit, that's a tie.
I don't know. Well, I'm still kind of like
Sounds like
Shall
a
we
good
ask the ghost in the room?
Ghost went to bed.
yeah,
Ghost is
sleeping.
ghost.
Ghost is sleeping.
So, okay,
Yeah.
where's a coin? We need a coin.
I got a coin.
Okay, heads is... Okay, call it in the air, guys.
Heads is keep.
Okay, heads is keep, tails is abandon.
All right.
Do you want me to do it?
No, I got it. I'm just gonna let it land on the ground. I'm not gonna catch it.
Jumanji.
Almost did.
It's heads. We're going with Sam's plan.
All right.
So we're going... Okay, if you should keep the wagon, turn to page 100. Holy shit, I saw a picture of a bear.
Oh no.
Do you think we need the wagon there?
That was like 50 pages away. Alright, so there's another decision. I was hoping for a game over because this episode's
You
going
left the
long.
wagons and you attracted a bear.
I think we should keep the wagon, you say. Me too, Hannah says Hannah. I love the wagon. It's my new mama.
It's my
And I love all our food, Samuel adds. Ma laughs. I agree with the kids, she says. We've come too far and carried our belongings for far too long to give them up now. And even though it's been slow going, we are still making progress. I think you're right, Pa says.
kind of a good
It
point.
would make me nervous to leave the wagon behind, too. You see the same relief you're feeling on the faces of Hannah and Samuel. The wagon has become your traveling house away from home. And it feels wrong to give it up unless you absolutely have to. Everyone else in your wagon train makes the same decision as your family. They agree that if you all walk together, you can manage to clear the trail and keep the wagons rolling, even if it is difficult. Besides, with all this practice, the team is getting faster at clearing away fallen trees. If it reaches the point where it becomes impossible, then you can consider abandoning the wagons, but not yet. As you hike, you realize that even though the mountainous terrain is challenging, it is also beautiful. With all the tall trees, cliffs, canyons, and purple haze of snow-capped mountains in the distance, the views have been breathtaking. As you're walking, the wind suddenly begins to blow and the temperature drops. That's a northern wind, Ma says, looking concerned. Look, Samuel shouts. It's snowing! Sure enough, flakes of snow fill the air. They land on your arms and face. You open your mouth and feel the icy coldness melt on your tongue. It tastes sweet, you say, laughing. You haven't seen snow for so long, but it feels funny to see it now, when it's still only September. Hey, yeah, say do you remember? Oh, yeah. Actually heard that. I listened to that song today. Archie runs back and forth and barks at the flakes. Hannah just twirls, letting her apron fill with the white fluff. But within minutes, the light snowfall turns into a fierce storm. The driving winds and thick sheet of white snow are hard to move through, and the animals seem to be scared as the icy cold air pelts their skin. They push against their yokes and kick as if they want to run away. Halt the wagons! Caleb orders. You watch as everyone huddles together discussing what to do. Do you think we should take cover and make camp? Caleb asked, shouting over the wind, and wait for the storm to pass? Look at the animals, Paul says. They might freeze. If we leave them standing in the cold, we need to keep moving. In this? Ma argues. We can barely make it out where we are going. We can just cover the animals with blankets. But maybe if we keep moving, we'll make it out of the storm area, another woman adds. Back and forth they argue. You don't know which sounds like the best option. Part of you wants to camp, and you hope that you and your friends will be allowed to play in the snow. But you wonder if the arguments for moving forward make sense too. What does everyone decide? So do we make camp, or do we keep moving?
I argue...
What's the worst decision here? He's making it less and less obvious for.
Yeah, it's
the
not like the,
decision.
do we want to light the camp on fire?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
not?
Do you want to put your hand in the beehive or not do that?
Do you want to touch your sister or your brother?
God damn it, Chris.
AKA, high five them?
God damn it, Chris.
Will you kiss all the kittens or kiss all the puppies, shepherd? Ooh, I wonder if there's a Mass Effect Choose Your Own Adventure. That'd be good.
I would
That's
argue making camp.
They all end at the same ending.
I feel like we don't know how far the storm is, and if we can make it out, and if it's if we're too blinded by it, we could end up like in a more dangerous situation.
Ooh,
You're
that's
right.
true.
Let's push through.
Oh my gosh.
My vote, I know I don't get a vote normally, but my vote is to keep on rolling. What? Rolling. Huh?
Yeah, there's always the risk of the snow like piling up and drowning everybody.
Yeah,
And no one wants to be snowblind.
yeah.
That's a cocaine term. But it's a real term as well.
I know.
Then again, like if we do stop now, what's gonna protect the oxen? They can't come into the wagon.
Blanket. Just put them in blankets. That's what Mom
Yeah, they
said.
said she has quilted blankets.
We can-
But does everyone else have enough blankets?
We were pretty cold last night.
That was a couple
know.
nights ago.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
but that
I
was
can
without
see
snow.
we're pushing on through, but again, part of it is we can't see trees. We can't see, like, if trees block the path, we can't see if we. I'm gonna say, depending on how thick it is, we might not even see if there's like a cliff kind
All
of
right,
thing.
Sam. So you say camp.
I say camp.
Final vote.
I'm gonna
Camp.
say camp.
Camp.
Rolling.
Rolling.
It's up to you, Reese.
I know.
Of if we die or not.
He's like, do I want to be able to sleep in the same
We'll
bed
let
as my
you be
wife
the
tonight?
final.
That's not gonna make them angry.
You fake killed us in the imaginary room.
I mean,
Reese is like, can I sleep on your
my
futon tonight?
dream Weiss has done worse apparently.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember you saying that before.
Yeah.
More like Dream Me. Dream Me sucks.
It's me too.
Keep
Let's see, okay,
dreaming of Noelia.
I kind, you know what?
Keep on rolling.
Yeah, let's keep rolling.
We're rolling because I decide that one. I will break this tie because the other one I didn't know what to choose. Honestly, they're both really good options. I want to
Yeah.
keep rolling as well.
At least our death won't be our faults, and if we do die, or
You can
if
say-
we don't die, then we're all happy. So, you know,
Yeah.
win-win.
Yeah. Except Brandon.
So the
Yes.
other one would let you.
Except Fred.
The other one would let you play in a snowball fight. And there's a bear! I choose the other one.
Oh my god.
The one with the bear.
Oh
No.
my gosh.
I almost want to choose the one with the bear just because it has a bear.
The camping
The
one?
cat?
Yeah, the camping one has a bear.
Oh.
Ooh.
Brandon, there's a bear.
Oh.
That's the
Want
chaos
bear?
route, and you know it.
Yeah,
bear.
let's go there.
Bear.
Let's go
Okay,
there.
there we go. I was able to convince Brandon because there's a bear.
The vote has
Oh my
changed.
goodness.
Oh lord, here we go.
Because he saw the
We'll,
future.
we'll make camp and wait out the storm, Pa says, glancing at the clouds with worried expression. I just hope it passes quickly. You help him set up the tent, struggling to get them to stand up. It's too windy to start a fire, so you eat a cold supper of prairie biscuits and jerky. You guys know what prairie biscuits is, right?
No.
Soggy cookie.
No, it's not, Chris. Don't.
That's what
Then how about you look it up while I keep reading, Sam?
I will.
And then you ask Ma if you can play in the snow. Okay, she says, but not for too long. It'll be dark soon. You, Hannah, and Samuel build a giant snow fort and hide behind it, piling up an arsenal of snowballs. Joseph and Eliza do the same on the other side of camp. Charge! Joseph shouts and the battle begins. Snowballs fill the air as you pout one another. The cold snow stings your skin and you finally call a truce when both sides are all out of snowballs. You run in the snow and fall over laughing. Sam, do you have what prairie biscuits are yet?
It looks like they're variations on actual biscuits.
Okay.
Wait. Like, they're just biscuits.
Okay.
So it's not a Limp Biscuit?
Keep on rolling, 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 rolling,
God
rolling.
damn it.
I did it all for the bear. What? The berry. What? So I can look at the bear and see if you guys survive. See if you guys survive. See if you guys survive. Why does it take so long? What? We're waiting for the bear to come. You better figure it out before I fucking kill your mom.
God damn it, Chris.
You better put some background music to that one.
I think he went off the song a bit.
I did it all for the nookie. Let's make snow angels, Hannah says, lying down next to you and waving her arms and legs in the snow. Oh, cute little picture of them playing in the snow.
No.
Kind of reminds me of Little House on the Prairie. Joe looks like Fred Jones from Scooby-Doo.
It's like the real Joe.
Come on back now, Ma calls.
Just like
You go back to the tent and only realize how cold it is once you've stopped running around. Even though you try to warm up under the blankets, as it gets darker, the temperature drops and you are really cold. I'm freezing, Samuel whines. I can't sleep. Me neither, Hannah adds. Ma looks concerned. I was going to put some blankets on the oxen, but you better use them, she says. Finally huddled together, you are able to get to sleep.
Oxen are dead.
By morning, the snow has stopped falling. You step out of the tent, and the thick blanket of snow reaches above your knees as you walk. After only a few moments, you hear shouting, "The oxen!" It's Pa. You rush over to where he is and find him looking distraught. "Half of them have perished," he says, sounding devastated. "What will we do?" The remaining oxen won't be able to pull the weight of the wagon on their own. Other wagons have lost animals too. "We should have kept moving through the storm," Caleb says, sounding regretful. "We'll just have to take what we can carry on the animals. There's no other choice." Hey, Brandon, you get two choices there.
Okay.
You get your choice of getting to leave the wagons behind,
Ooh.
technically. Even though you are
And
filled
bear.
with sadness over the lost animals, there's no time to waste. You spend the next few hours helping your parents sort through your things, choosing only the most important items to take with you. While Ma and Pa are trying to attach bags to the remaining oxen and onto Daisy, Samuel runs over to you. "Hannah and I found some wild berries," he says.
no.
"Come see."
Let's eat them.
You follow Samuel and run over to some bushes in the distance. Leaves of 3, leave 'em be. Leaves of 4, eat some more, you say. But there's leaves of 5. Huh, I don't know this one. As you approach, you see Hannah pulling berries off the bush and filling up her apron. She looks up at you and smiles. "Look how many I have," she says. "I hope they're good to eat." Why are you picking them, bitch? Just when you spot something moving behind the bush. It's a bear! You freeze, terrified. It feels like everything is happening more slowly than it really is, because it's a Telltale Games moment. As the bear comes toward Hannah, you're afraid that it wants the berries and will attack her, and you have only a moment to react.
Let her
You
get
pick
eaten.
up Hannah's doll from where it is lying on the ground near you and throw it at the bear to distract it, or do you tell Hannah, yell for Hannah to run? So, do you throw the doll, or do you yell?
I was hoping there'd be an option to just run away.
Just leave your sister.
I was hoping there was an option to just drop all the berries and run.
So, what are the options?
The options are, if you throw the doll, turn to page 71.
Ooh.
If you yell, turn to page 151.
I feel like we should yell because if we throw the doll, she's going to be like, "Oh no, my dolly!"
Yeah.
Or the bear
doll,
just doesn't
yeah.
give a shit and it wants the berries and it still goes for.
Yeah, if we run, there's a
unless that,
possibility she will drop them.
Yeah.
Please tell me there's a graphic of her being eaten by the...
Look at that angry bear.
Oh damn! Like that bear is like
Oh,
He angry.
he pissed.
he pissed.
No more berries. I'm having them berries.
That's what we call a bear.
So, what
I'd
do you
say
guys choose?
yell,
Run, yell.
Doll.
Okay, yell,
yell.
doll.
Yell.
Yell? Okay, if you yell, turn to page 151.
You aggravate the bear.
Hannah! You shout, "Run! Bear!" Hannah looks up and horror fills her face. She lets go of her apron and all the berries tumble onto the ground. And then without turning around, she starts to run towards you. But the bear catches up to her.
Oh no.
You race back to camp. Without looking behind, you don't notice she's not with you.
That's lies. You're fucking lying.
You race back to camp with Samuel.
No!
With Samuel 2 paces ahead of you both. Even though you want to look behind you to make sure the bear isn't following you, you don't. Instead, you just keep running. Suddenly, your foot strikes a big rock in the ground. It sends you flying in the air, and you land hard on the back of your.
Oh no.
You land hard on the back of your head and are knocked out. The next thing you know, you're lying on your back inside your tent. Ma's leaning over you. You hit your head, she says, wiping her eyes. How are you feeling now? I'm okay, you sort of say, trying to sit up. But you are struck by a wave of dizziness and feel like you're going to vomit.
I'm about to say.
You've been paralyzed.
I'm going to
Lie back down, Ma says. You fall asleep and don't wake for a long time. Someone tries to shake you, but you can't bring yourself to open your eyes. When you finally do, you see someone, but can't recognize who it is. Who are you? You ask. What am I doing here?
I'm Jesus.
I'm Jesus. Welcome to heaven, son.
Is that really what it's
We win!
No.
We win!
I'm your mother, the woman answers. How are you feeling, my dear? You stare at the woman speaking to you, but still don't recognize her.
Oh my god.
Where am I? You ask. We're on our way to Oregon, the woman says, while a man rushes into the tent and starts to speak. It's all making you terribly tired to listen to them, trying to tell you who you are and what is happening. You close your eyes and never open them again.
That's how it is?
And
Holy damn.
I'm not fucking lying.
Oh, that's really sad.
Y'all died.
See what happens when you want to camp?
Brandon chose the correct option on that one.
Yeah,
We're
he
supposed to
did.
throw the doll?
Throw the doll. Y'all should
We're
have.
actually supposed to push on through first.
Okay, for what it's worth, when you think about it, throwing the throwing the doll makes more sense than yelling to run, because you're not trying to yell at the bear to scare it. You're just yelling, Hannah, run.
True.
True. I was hoping to get distracted by the berries.
I mean, to be fair, too, I don't know if yelling leads to head injuries most of the time.
I mean, running in the snow.
I guess so, yeah.
You don't know where rocks are.
Okay. I
You
can
had
see that.
moccasins on your phone.
Why are you complaining? This wasn't the ending you chose. You're good.
I wanted to die
You're
in
innocent.
the campfire, okay?
Well, you died from a concussion. That's pretty fucking great.
That's
I do
so-
like that we
That's
got
messed
amnesia
up.
first, though. That was kind of
Yes.
cool.
I think it's not amnesia as much as you're
Disorientation.
badly concussed. When
Brain
you're
damage.
that concussed, you can't remember shit. Like, your brain is literally bleeding. You are bleeding in your head.
Awesome.
I was fine.
That was,
So,
That's just...
what was throwing the doll supposed to do? Like, rustle
I would say
something behind
it would like you threw it at the bear. I would say it distracted the bear. I'm not reading it anymore because this has gone on long enough. This is almost an hour and a half.
I should have kept pulling through.
Alright, guys,
Should've.
let's make
Damn.
up a happy ending.
No, this was a good enough ending for me. Y'all
That was a
died.
happy ending.
Y'all bitches died.
We met Jesus.
Thanks
right?
for joining us on
You're
Speaking
right.
of Which,
That
Let's
was
Read.
a brutal ending.
That was a good one. This was made for kids.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, papers. Thank you for joining us this time on Speaking of Which. Follow us at SOW_podcast on Twitter. Speaking of Which podcast on Facebook. And you... What?
I'm just dancing.
Okay, you're just dancing. And you can follow our website at speakingofwhich.org, where you can contact me or even just, get subscribed to us there. It's all good. And make sure to follow us on Patreon at patreon.com/speakingofwhich. $1 is all it costs to join. You get a bonus episode every week. You get the episodes up early. You get bonus content of cut for time shit. There's actually going to be a couple cut for times, I think, for this episode.
Yeah.
But good times were had by all. It's $1. Join Trey at Yurtosaurus, our only patron at this time, sadly.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks a lot,
What?
bud.
Sadly, I'm happy to have Trey.
I want more than
Yurtosaurus.
one. I want two.
Give
You
us
can't
two.
have 2 trays.
You're right. We need 2 trays. And hey, I'll shout out your Twitter, your stories, your YouTube, whatever you want. Whatever you please. Sam, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter and at some point on Instagram, maybe. At Berserker Rose.
Weiss?
You can find me at 4StuffTender on YouTube and Instagram.
Alright, and make sure to follow our YouTube page as well at Speaking of Which there. Hopefully there will be more content. I may have promised a video because I recently did the which characters could I beat up in the Goosebumps universe?
Yeah.
Spongy demands I do the which characters would I kiss from the Goosebumps because I said it during the video. And I may
my
have
God.
recorded it before the fighting one, but I won't admit that to anyone but Sam.
Let's go.
But I want to kind of re-record it. Maybe have someone else in the room with me.
I'll be with you.
Okay. I'll have someone named Weiss.
Okay, if you want to have Weiss.
I don't care. I really don't care.
Do you wanna talk
it'd
about
be better
switching?
if you.
Smooching.
Yeah. I'm-
Smooching Goosebumps characters.
I didn't realize you were a Switch. What song should we go out on? I wonder if there's like a good song about like the Oregon Trail. Like, is there like a Brental Floss song?
Just do the chip tune. Oh wait, we're doing that in the background.
Yeah, that's
You're
gonna be in the background.
right. Darn.
Yeah. I
I
feel
don't
like there
know.
might be a Brental Floss song.
If
right?
there is.
I
Going
feel like
on Amish Paradise.
they're not
Country
Amish.
Road.
But that's going the other way.
Ah, shoot.
Yeah,
Let's
West
go
Virginia,
east.
take me home. That's
Yeah.
where you go to West Virginia.
That's true. Wrong way.
I'm on my way. Dun,
From
dun.
misery to happiness.
Yeah, there we go. We'll do that. We'll do that song.
Uh-huh.
I'm on my way. That's on the Shrek soundtrack.
Yes.
Yep.
That's the only reason why I
Only
know
reason
it.
I know.
I've almost bought that soundtrack on vinyl.
I had the soundtrack as a child.
I
killed it.
downloaded it because one of the people we took care of the house of, they had it, and I was like, I need to put this on my iPod. And I'm pretty sure I still have it on my hard drive somewhere.
I had the Rugrats soundtrack on a cassette.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I
it
had
was
the
my
Shrek
favorite.
on Game Boy Video.
The Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, it was on
All right, thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to subscribe and like. Hey, if you're listening to us on Spotify, you can rate us on there. I'd appreciate a good review. All right, I think we deserve it. What do you guys say?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, bye.
Bye.
I'm on my way from misery to happiness to thee. I'm on my way from misery